Hey, guys, today's game is all about simple, fun, American regional trivia, and you know there are 50 states in the US, right? But remembering their names, their locations, and even their capitals is a challenge. Why don't we just go around and do a quick check? Where's California and what's the capital? Yeah, it's in the West, and the capital is Sacramento. What about Texas? It's a big place in the southern United States, and the capital is Austin. What's the capital of Vermont? Montpelier. But the Vermont is hidden in the northeastern United States. There are all kinds of states on a map of the United States. Alaska is the largest and most northwest corner of the United States, but its capital is Juneau. But wait, fun fact, Albany is the capital of New York State, not New York City. Surprise. Okay, let's pick up the pace. Colorado is in the Midwest. It's called the blind spot. What's the capital? Denver. Tallahassee, not to be confused with Miami or Orlando. The capital of Minnesota, a windy state in the northern middle of the United States, is St. Paul. Did you know it's part of the Twin Cities? The city of the most spectacular shows, Las Vegas, Nevada. Las Vegas is famous all over the world, but its capital is Carson City. Pennsylvania is in the heart of the Middle East. What's the capital? Harrisburg. You can't just remember Philly or Pittsburgh. Where is Idaho? It's in the Northwest Mountains, famous for its military spuds, and the capital is Busia. And don't forget, Hawaii is a well-known resort in the middle of the Pacific, but its capital city is Honolulu. Let's keep it rolling. Ha ha, you know where Massachusetts is? It's in the northeastern United States. And the capital is Boston. Where in Wisconsin do you think it is now? It's in the north-central United States, and it's famous for its cheese, right? The capital is Madison. You didn't know that, what about Georgia? It's warm in the south. Capital's Atlanta. Columbus is now the capital of Ohio. Location? The answer is the Mid-East. Las Vegas, Atlanta, Miami, that's all you're gonna get. The capital of Washington State isn't Washington, D.C., it's Olympia. Washington, D.C. isn't a state, it's a federal state. But don't underestimate Washington State. It's in the northwest corner. What's the capital of Louisiana? Not New Orleans, Baton Rouge. This is where Hurricane Katrina was famous. Look for the capital city in the middle of the Arizona desert. Phoenix. It's hot. And Maine is in the northeasternmost tip of the USA, capital Augusta. Also known as a lobster, but it's also snowy. Kentucky, the blue sky state, capital Frankfort. Also known as Lexington Horse Park. Mississippi, warm south, capital of Jackson, home of historic blues music. Let's see, Missouri, Midwest, capital, Jefferson City. Now, as you all know, it's the fabulous Broadway state of New York. Not New York City, capital of Albany. What about South Dakota, the bean-famous state in the North-Middle West? The capital is Pierre. Did you know you can see the faces of presidents from Mount Lashmore? Okay, let's keep going as if we're sprinting. Utah is in the rugged western United States. Its capital is Salt Lake City. Capital of skiing and Mormonism. What's next? Rhode Island. It's in Providence. It's the capital city of Kent State University, Ohio. The actual capital city of Ohio is Columbus. And what's the capital of North America's quintessential charming state, Oregon? Salem. Oh, man, if Portland's the only thing I remember, I'm out of luck. If you're looking for a fishing and aurora borealis in Alaska, don't forget the capital, Juneau. Richmond, Virginia, capital of our beautiful colonial history. And where is Michigan? Right next to Wisconsin, in the middle of the United States, surrounded by a Great Lake. Motor City, Detroit. Lansing, who'd have thought? Don't forget the beautiful coastal state of California. And remember, Sacramento is the capital, not Hollywood or San Francisco, and Oklahoma. The windy city of Oklahoma is the capital. The wind capital, Oklahoma City, is the capital. In the heat of southern Tennessee. Nashville's famous for its music. What's the capital? Don't forget, Nashville. Delaware was the first state in the United States, northeastern United States. Capital? Dover. Living in the Northeast, screaming for freedom. What's the capital? Concord. Where's Indiana? Indianapolis is the capital of the United States. What's the capital of Iowa, west of Missouri? The capital of Des Moines is home of the famous Caucasus. The gem of the South, Alabama State. The historic city of Montgomery is the capital, best known as the birthplace of the Civil Rights Movement. North Carolina's capital is Raleigh. South neighbor, South Carolina's capital is Columbia. We're right next to Kentucky, which is famous for horse racing. Oh, my God, am I remixing my brain already? Don't worry, we're on our way to the finish line. Yeah, Kentucky, we're gonna slide a little bit over to West Virginia. It's the capital, Charleston. Sometimes forgotten in the mid-northeast, but it's a mountaineer's paradise. Now, if you look northwest, you'll see it's in New Jersey. Although the state has a well-known Atlantic city, its capital, of course, is Trenton. New York or Philadelphia might be hiding in the shadows, but it's worth a visit. Wait, did you know that in Missouri, even though there's a big city called St. Louis, the capital city is Jefferson City? He's got it all wrong. And if we cross into Kansas, the capital is Topeka, the land of the famous Wizard of Oz. And if you go all the way north, you'll find Nebraska. The capital is not Omaha, but Lincoln, famous for its wheat fields and cornfields. Next to it, Montana, America's fourth largest state. Despite its vast nature, the capital is smaller than most cities, Helena. Quick, check the states that are really left. Colorado, as you know, is known for its skiing and outdoor sports. Capital, Denver. Snowy mountain city. Now, all the way down from Virginia, underneath Tennessee is Georgia. Atlanta's just a city. What's the capital? That's right, Atlanta. Next to it is South Carolina on the Atlantic, capital of Columbia, GI. Sunbathing on the beach is all well and good, but it's nice to be in the middle of politics once in a while. The capital of Las Vegas twirls. The city of the most spectacular shows, Las Vegas, Nevada. But the correct answer is Carson City. And remember, Pennsylvania is not Philadelphia. It's not Pittsburgh, it's the capital of Harrisburg. It's a lot of fun to memorize, and now I want you to think about the last few states. Next week is Maryland. Yeah, Maryland, a small but powerful state on the eastern Atlantic coast of the United States. Capital of the United States, Annapolis. Despite its proximity to the city of Washington, D.C., there's still plenty of Maryland to look at. Did you know New Hampshire's capital city is Concord? And its motto is, "Live free or die." That's where the free spirit lives. Let's keep it going. And now, if we turn our attention to the North Middle West,
Wahpeton, North.
we'll see the enchanted starry state of Minnesota. It's called the land of 10,000 lake. What's the capital? Next to it, the state of Wisconsin. Famous for its delicate mountains and rivers, capital of Wisconsin, Madison. Famous for its cheese, remember? And let's not forget, one of the coldest states in the world, North Dakota. The capital is Bismarck, and of course, South Dakota, which is Mount Lashmore. The capital is Pierre. North Dakota is a milder place, but it's also one of the coldest places in America. What is the capital of Kansas, known for its wheat fields? Topeka. And South Dakota, capital of the Luthers, home of Stradivarius, famous for his violin? The capital of Nevada, Silver State, is Carson City. But Las Vegas is the first place people think of. But really, it's all about Carson City. Starting with Alaska, and so far, we've been to a lot of different states. So let's talk about Illinois in the middle of the United States. That's right, the state of Chicago. The state capital isn't Chicago. It's Springfield. Surprise, Montana. Montana is located in the northwest of the United States. And the capital is Helena, Yaw. It's now Oregon, in the beautiful northwest. Never-ending green. And the capital? That's right, Salem. It's a land of cornfields and gold. The capital of Iowa is Des Moines. The capital is Des Moines. It's a high-profile political city. There's a state in Texas that says, "Remember the Alamo." It's in the south, and the capital is Austin. Home to the Cowboys, but it's back to music and geography. Our next segment is called, Alabama. What's the capital of Alabama again? Montgomery. Next stop, Colorado. It's located in the Midwest. And it's famous for its mountains. What's the capital? That's right, Denver. It's a ski and nature paradise. Next up, Connecticut. Located in the northeastern United States. The capital of Connecticut is Hartford. It's got a great university and a lot of historic buildings. Now, let's take a look at Maine, the sweet state of New England. We're in the northernmost part of the United States, known for our lobsters. The capital is Augusta, and, hey. What about the state of Mississippi? It's located in the tropical south, and it's home to blues music. And the capital is Jackson. Where's California? And what's the capital? It's in the west. And the capital is Sacramento. Where is Maine? What's the capital? It's not in the south. It's all the way to the northeast. Capital city of Augusta. We're really close to the end. Let's take a look at the rest. The capital city is Lansing. Michigan is known for its manufacturing, particularly the automotive industry, which is often confused by Detroit's automotive influence, and on top of that, let's look sideways from Minnesota. They call it the land of a million lakes. Its capital is St. Paul. Wisconsin is also known as the land of cheese, but don't forget its capital is Madison. It's the second largest state in the West, Texas. The capital is Austin, but if you thought Houston or Dallas were the capital, you're wrong. Now, let's talk about Virginia, the state that boasts of the east coast of the United States. Richmond, rich in history and tradition. After Virginia, it's Maryland, which sits cozily next to Washington, D.C. Are you ready for another surprise? The capital isn't Baltimore, it's Annapolis. Next, the capital of Missouri, the heartland of America, where St. Louis is famous, but Jefferson City is actually the capital. And if you didn't know that, remember that. The hot spot of the South, Oklahoma State, the capital is Oklahoma City. The Windy City. The capital is the Windy City, Oklahoma City. It's Colorado. It's a big Midwest state. Lots of mountains, great skiing, great trails. What's the capital? Denver. You've probably heard of it. Nestled among the sky-high peaks, that's the city. Now, if you head a little south, you'll see the state of New Mexico, a desert region in the southwest of the United States. But there's a lot to see. The capital is Santa Fe. Don't forget where the arts and history are alive and well. Right next to Texas, where we were just looking, there's a small Oklahoma state with a big heart. The capital is Oklahoma City. It's like a state that rides on the wind. That's not true. We've had a fun tour of the states and capitals of the United States, but let's kick it up a notch. Just above Maryland is the small but mighty state of Delaware. You may be heading down a narrow road, but this is the capital city of Dover, which you've probably heard more about than you think. Next to it is a state of New Jersey steeped in technology and history. It's just a short drive from Times Square. Wait, what's the capital? Trenton. Man, I can't keep thinking about New York City or Philly. Moving northeast, the Sound State Connecticutsville. Focus, Connecticutsville, famous for pizza and colleges. And the capital? Yes, Hartford. It used to be called the Insurance City. And it still is. Next up, ice-cold Alaska, the largest, snow-covered expanse of land in the United States. What's the capital city like again? Juneau. And if you don't know Juneau, this is a good time to check it out. Let's go to Arizona, the Southwest, where it's never going to end. It's famous for deserts and canyons, right? What's the capital city? Phoenix. There's a city this big in the middle of the desert? Next stop, Utah. It's known among rock lovers as the Rosie State. The capital of Utah is Salt Lake City, filled with skiing and beautiful national parks. Isn't that amazing? Well, moving on to next week's state of the ocean, Hawaii. It's the Hawaii that sits in the middle of the Pacific Ocean and makes you dream of an exotic vacation. But what's the capital? Honolulu. And before you go surfing, remember the name of the capital. From Hawaii to the Americas, the mountain state of Colorado. What's the capital? Denver. Denver, Colorado's capital, is a picturesque city based on the Rocky Mountains. It's like a winter wonderland. And now that we've crisscrossed the country, it's time to wrap this up. And finally, let's talk about the state of Florida, which is called the Amber State, not Orlando or Miami. It's Tallahassee. I'll see you again with quizzes like this.